even though that seems inherent, it ain't always so apparent. Dangle carrot, you ain't always gonna get it. But don't worry, it's a pretty February, in a year with more to carry, and more days is yet to come under the sun, taking the ferry to the city, where the moment's extra pretty, like the people, like the idea that I keep inside my brain that isn't equal to the real world. All that stress ain't saving me fear though. I swear to God I'm trying. They pushing their demons down my esophagus, screaming the easy life, what I want always. Praise made up holidays, tell me that love is the answer just to boost this economy. Buy more, sell now, but I ain't following. I ain't a hollow man, I'm full of them fall winds. Take it all with a tall grin, and if you feel it, do it with me. And just sing what the song says. Take it all for what it is. It ain't all so big. So big. Take it all for what it is. It ain't all so big. You see, I think the snozberry is gonna taste like snozberries. It's gonna be pretty weird if they tasted any other way. Today's just another day amongst many. Wouldn't want to spend it any other way. Sup with friendly people, bumping Benz and box with a cup full of Henny, selling smiles by the lot. There's some wholesale, that's the only thing I got. Well, except for drug-addled downer, always drowning in the pot. But let's skip the minor details and get to moving through the plot. It's a potluck, party popping off kind of song. You go and tell your moms to play a junior prom.
For being here. You know what? No sound. All right. So hopefully that corrected itself. So tonight we're going to get into it, but we're talking about cheating tonight. Y'all know I was on with a young man the other night, Mr. Logic. And, my job is to definitely have Mr. Logic come over to my side and we get married, of course. I want everybody married and happy. So we're going to talk about it. We're definitely going to talk about it. But in the beginning here, we're just going to give people an opportunity to come in and share this time with me. I'm going to go over a couple of comments that I've received. Mr. Steele, hello. How are you, sir? I'm glad to see that you're here. But we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to tell y'all my job for him and a lot of good men that I see out here in this world. We're going to make sure that you all are receiving some good messages and some good things about being married. I enjoy being married. I consider myself a good woman. I consider myself being in a successful marriage. So where is this YouTube world only talks about not being married and living in this modern day. I'm going to give everything a twist. But we're going to take it slow so everyone absolutely knows what Security Boss thinks. Because sometimes when I get these comments, people don't seem to understand me. They don't. They think I'm a part of some sisterhood, or they always say I'm holding men accountable, and y'all already know that ain't it. That ain't it. I am equal in accountability. I hold everybody accountable. One day y'all will meet my husband and y'all hear him talk about it too. So that's not who Security Boss is. I'm just who I am. I like to hold everyone accountable. I like to operate in integrity. And I want everybody around me doing the same thing. And if I can push that message, I think we'll be better off, because all it's about is being responsible for yourself and not having any excuses. And I know Big Bad Bull, I notice when you speak, I'll be reading your comments. You definitely are an accountable man. You don't let them get away with nothing. And I appreciate you for that. So that tells me a lot about you. Your comments, I read them and I know exactly where you are. I try to be very authentic and transparent. Miss Steele, you're right about that. That's who I am. But definitely, guys, when you come in, make sure you give me the thumbs up. I appreciate it so much. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you're doing that also. I have a goal to meet. I'm about 10 away from 2,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Did I say that right? I'm about 10 away. So I want to make that goal of 2,000. So by the end of this weekend, I want to make sure that I'm at 2,000. And I'll definitely share that with you all. You all have been with me with unsolicited this whole time. And then without you all, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I definitely appreciate you. Condemnia. Thank you for being here. Let me see what you had to say here. Oh gosh, let me see. What was that? Oh damn, it's not all on the men. Guess I lied. Listen, it is not all on the men. We got some dirty women out here, and I'm here to tell you. Listen, guys, if y'all listen to me, you can't listen. I'm one of them people. You can't come in the middle of one of them lives because you might have forgot or didn't hear that first 30 minutes of me getting on these women telling you that they ain't hit no nothing. But listen, there's some good ones out there. I advocate for them. I'm one of them. So I know that there are some good ones. So just like I'm getting on the ones that ain't hit no nothing, I'm also going to tell you about there's some good ones out there, and social media, Instagram, and all that may not be where they are. I say it all the time, but I'm going to continue to say it. And hopefully you all can stay in my live long enough to hear me say this. There are some good women out there. And I also say this because I advocate for the men. You know, you all are our leaders. I don't think we can do much without you. But I want you all to know that you are the leaders. If I could just touch you with something on your head or something, and just give you that power, that source, and let you know you the man, I would love to do that. But you got to believe it too. I don't want you hiding behind no excuses anymore. If you doing it, you kicking in the door, you doing whatever you got to do to please yourself, to be happy, whatever it is you're doing. I want you to stand on it, whatever it is, even though you may not like it in the end. If not, you got to own it going in. That would be with the discipline it takes not to indulge or whatever the situation may be. So that brings me kind of to one of the comments that I got. And Courtney, his name was Courtney Todd, I believe. I think it's a he. I'm not really sure. It reads like a he. But Courtney, I appreciate you being here at my live the other night. I think you were there with Mr. Logic. You were there. And I appreciate you so much for your engagement. And I also appreciate everything you said. But again, I'm reading your comment because I don't think you actually listened to what I was saying. I think we get so caught up in what is going on in our own private life that we don't hear what other people are saying to us or suggesting to us. Quite naturally, if a man impregnates a woman, I'm going to hold him accountable for it. Meaning, young man, if you don't want to produce a baby, don't go over to her house. Don't go. Don't go. You know, see the red flag and run away. Don't go. But if you decide to indulge, you got to know that there's a chance that there may be a child involved. Even if you're using a condom, you got to know it. So that kind of brings me to his comment. He was like, I didn't understand that child support was an incentive. Now, listen. Also, what he said was this: why didn't I want to include what I call the difficult demographic? I don't want to include them because they have already structured their lives the way they want them to be. Meaning they've decided that they want to have kids. They decided they want to live off the federal government. That's what their decision is. And I can't change that. They seem to be happy. They're not bothering me. I don't bother them. They have their men that they're interested in. You know, Big Mama has her Leroy that she loves. It's fine. You know, that's how they want to live. That's why I don't include them. Because if you're saying that the federal government is incentivizing them, I can agree with you because that's all that they're doing. There's no secret about that. There's no secret. They're being incentivized by the federal government because that's how they want to live. And some of them are actually thinking they're beating the federal government at the game. I get it. So that's why I'm not speaking to them, because nothing I can say will make them turn around or change their mind about what they're doing, because they know full well what they're doing. I'm actually talking about women who are educated, out here getting jobs, who maybe want to be married or want to be married, men who have potentials to be leaders, who want to be married, who want to have families. I'm talking to those type people who feel like they made a mistake and now the women have basically entrapped them and they can't get out. I'm talking to those type of people. I'm talking about people who make a future for themselves. I'm not talking about somebody who has just settled in, living a certain way, and that's all they want. I don't think I should address them because I don't think that they want to change. So that's why I don't talk to the woman who has chose to have 5 kids and live alone. You know, that's why I did that. All right, Mr. Logic, you was your ears burning. Thank you so much for your super chat. You get the money line song for that super chat. It's about to retire from you. Oh, is about Mr. Logic is about to retire from YouTube. Support whatever. You get the Money Line song, it's coming soon.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Money Line.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no
Yeah. Mr. Logic, you got the Money Line song tonight. I'm gonna talk about you. But anyway, so we're gonna run this video back, and it was me and Logic talking about. Before I do that, Mr. Logic throwing me off. I was talking about Courtney over here. Courtney, thank you so much for your engagement. And I was just saying, Courtney, I just don't want to deal with people who live in difficult demographics because they are making their own choices. They're not listening to me or trying to improve upon their life. They are trying to beat the federal government, and they're trying to live assisted for their entire life. And you made reference to that. Assistance should be for a time. And I definitely agree with everything you said. But, you know, that's a difficult demographic that you can't talk to, that you can't speak to. I'm talking to other people. I'm talking to people who want to maybe be married. I said this, who are maybe educated and have degrees and, you know, forward thinking people and all of that. Those are the people I'm talking about. And I think Mr. Logic was talking to me about those type women also, who now have incentives not to have the men there. I'm not talking about what we kind of address as Pookie and Ray Rays. I'm not going to talk to anybody about them because they have made a decision on how they want to live their lives. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about men like Mr. Logic, Courtney, hopefully men like yourself. I'm talking about men like you who would meet a woman who could be me. Okay. I'm not talking about the women on Fresh and Fit. Okay. Those are Instagram models who I don't know what they want. I think they're looking for a paycheck in all ways. And it's up to you to be able to identify the difference between myself or younger me and the woman on Fresh and Fit. It's up to you. So that's what I'm trying to say to you. My goal is this. Women don't listen to me, but I got to tell you a story about that. But men do. And so what I tell the men is to look out for the red flags and protect yourself. And what I'm saying to all men, you don't have to be there. You got to have that type of discipline. You got to find out what kind of belief system that woman has, what that woman wants for her future, and everything in between. Because if you don't, you may find yourself in child support court. Okay. So over the top, how are you? It's good to see you. So listen, I want to go back a little bit. And this is a story that I tell the young women, because occasionally I have one. I'm not going to say they listen, but I do have an opportunity to talk to them. I went on a woman's retreat one weekend, and a young girl, it's not often that I do that, and the young girl was there, and she was telling her story about how her child's father had fathered 2 other children. So therefore, he was a father of 3. And they were all summoned to come to child support court. Her child support was about $25 a week. And I think each mother that he had kids with was about $25 a week. Okay. So even that adds up, right? We go from $100 a month to $300 a month, right? So I didn't get angry with her in any way, but I got very stern with her when I told her, don't you ever find yourself in child support court again, standing beside 2 other women to collect $25 a week from a man that you knew who he was before you even had the baby. I said, don't do it because you look a fool. And I meant it. She looked crazy. I will never advise another woman to make a man that does not want to have a baby be a father. I won't do that. I should say it differently. Make a father who did not want to have a baby be a daddy. That's the worst thing you can do in this world. It's not worth $25 a week. And she looked a fool. I said, you look a fool behind a desk in a courtroom with 3 other women talking to this one man about your baby, trying to make him be a daddy. How can he? But you knew it. You knew who he was going in, whether he was the drug dealer or the de-slanger, I don't know. But you knew it. You knew he wasn't the man that wanted this kid, but you had him anyway. But listen, the buck stops here. Don't do it. I told her, don't do it. Get yourself a second job. Do not do it. Let that man be. And then if later on he's doing what he has to do, then, you know, maybe it'll work out. What he has to do is to build a relationship with your child. But if he's not showing you that he wants a relationship, do not show up in that courtroom. Now, every other woman that was in that environment that day was definitely, he made that baby. He need to pay for that baby. Pay for the baby? $25? That doesn't take care of a child. And I refuse to make a child an invoice, because I just like everything else you pay, sometimes you don't want to pay it. So men, I totally agree with you with child support, but the system is there. And from what I understand, it's been here for since 1950 something or later. I don't know. It's been here a long time. I could be wrong in my time. But anyway, it's been here a while. So it's not going anywhere. So the only way you win is to get caught up in this system. That's all I'm saying. I'm making you responsible for not getting caught up in the system. Hello, everyone. Let's see, who is this? SHP Creative Space with Lady Hale. Hello, Napoleon. I saw you. What's up? How are you doing? Tasha, how are you? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for, you know what? Y'all could have been anywhere on this Friday night, but y'all chose to come be with me. I appreciate it so very much. So that's what I'm saying, guys. So for men, I advocate for you, but you all are in control of this thing as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you all can come and tell me, really, and Mr. Logic, this is what you got to prove to me, that men don't control it. Okay, that's that, you told me, and we're going to see this video in a minute, but you told me I had to prove something to you. And I'm telling you, the next time we speak, you're going to have to prove to me how the men are not in control of this thing. And if you can do that, I'll go get me a woman and cut up, whatever you want me to do. I'm just kidding, y'all. But when I always, Jenny, hello to you. So listen, whenever I'm talking to men and they're not hearing what I'm saying, I'm not going to go beat no woman up for you. I'm sorry. And I did not create the system. Sorry, number 2. But I can tell you how not to be a part of it. Now, you don't have to listen to me. You can say I'm a part of a sisterhood, which is a lie. I refuse to be a part of a sisterhood. I spent too much of my life being independent to be a part of a sisterhood. I love women. I love men, but I'm holding both accountable. And I hope everybody wins. That's what I want. But when you're talking about children, they must be taken care of. They got to be. We can't just leave kids out here just wondering who's going to go buy the formula. Somebody got to buy it. Okay. So I understand your individual stories. Well, I don't understand them, but I know everybody has one. And I know there are some times when things are done incorrectly. But let me tell you something else. I also have some success child support stories also. I do. I know of some. So it's not all in what it looks like, guys. I know it gets hard. And I know having your child be an invoice is terrible. Like I said before, I pay child support for a lot of men all the time. And I don't want to, but I do. Now, and I've said this too, by the time it gets to me, what that tells me is that man, that father didn't pay it. I hate it, but that's something I have to do that comes along with my job. So it's what I have to do. But I want to tell you guys this. So to go back, Courtney, I hope you're watching. I hope you tuned in. Hope you didn't get too turned off by me. Hopefully you're tuning in. I advocate for you. Definitely if you're a man. I advocate for women too, but it's accountability that I'm after. A bad woman will ruin a good man. I will say it over and over and over again. Women, we're more resilient, but men, we can't take that. I mean, we can't. Y'all can't take that. And I agree with all of it, but I'm still holding you accountable. You're the leader. So I'm expecting you to lead, and I'm expecting you to make the changes that need to be made. I really am. So this is just me. So anyway, that brings me to that. I just wanted to say that. I love the comment, but I just needed you all to let me know. I don't know how long you guys been following me or whether you picked up on who Security Boss is or not. Hello, Goldie. I just don't know, but to let you all know, I'm both. Hey, Sir Hill, how are you? I'm both. I advocate for men, but I hold both accountable. But men, I must say, I may be a little harder on you all because I do want you all to be the leaders that you're designed to be. So I may put more on you than anybody. Hey, Hayaka. Hello, how are you? Are you Isaiah? I think If you're not, forgive me, but thank you for your blessings. So men, yeah, I'm definitely holding you responsible tonight though. Listen, make sure when you're coming in, you're giving me the thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you're doing that also. We are right here at 2,000 subscribers. I think I'm about 10 away. So, come on, guys. Go ahead and give me that 10, because by the end of the weekend, we want to be there. So that brings me to this. We're going to play a little clip of the video. So I guess we're not going to play a little clip of the video. But anyway, I'm just going to let you know what me and Logic were talking about. We were talking about cheating, and Mr. Logic said to me, I just lost it. Tarina, hello, how are you? The best lady on YouTube. Whoop, whoop, I like that. Thank you. You're new to the channel. I hope you subscribe. But anyway, listen, a little later on in the show, we're going to drop the link in the chat, and I want to hear what you all got to say about this. Listen, y'all see the husband is now, we're going to find this video and play it really quick so we can pick up on exactly what Mr. Logic was saying. Logic, I hope you're back there, because I need you to prove something to me now. I think I won that little small debate we had the other day. I think actually you changed the subject, but that's okay. But anyway, I was just saying, if you all don't know yet who Security Boss is, that's who I am. I do both sides. I'm holding everybody accountable, including myself, and I'm operating in integrity. And if it doesn't always sound like I'm advocating for you men, I really am. But I advocate for you to be the leader and to be in control of the situation. And I want you to head it off before it even begins, because I hate for a man to be in those type of situations. And now what? I don't want you to be that way. All right. So stay tuned for this video starting in just a few minutes.
The basketball player, the business.
All right. So the video, we're going to start this video in just a few minutes, and then you all know exactly where we're going to pick up. But we're talking about cheating. So if you can't recall, and I hope all of you were there on Wednesday, was me and Mr. Logic, and we talked about a lot of things. I really appreciated him being there. Also, listen, let me know if you all would like to see Logic and I, on a weekly basis. I just let me know. If you would like to see that. I think he was he made me think a little bit. Made me go, dig in there deep for some wisdom and pull it out. Let me see. So let me know if y'all want to see that, because I would love, I think I would really enjoy having him on a weekly basis. He was good. Big Bad Boy, you said, yeah, listen, you was going at him, Big Bad Boy. I saw that chat. I saw it. It was good conversation. And you know what? I appreciate him. I hate that he has to go somewhere else on Thursday night and get slaughtered just for having an idea. But anyway, he says it makes him a better man also. So whatever that iron thing, right? The iron sharpens you. So whatever makes you a better person, I'm down there with you. But yeah, I think I would too. I'm glad to hear that. Listen, y'all let me know though, if y'all would love to see Logic and I have good conversation on Wednesday nights, because I would appreciate that too, I think. And that might be something that we look into doing, because he thinks I'm not going to have no answer for him. But I got him. Listen, guys, I already made the pledge. He's going to be married by the end of 2022. I have the woman in mind. He said 2023. I'm saying 22. So I have about 8 months, 9 months, about 9 months that I can work this thing out. That's long enough to have a baby. So, Mr. Logic, you in the right place. But listen, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to share that with you, and we're going to get this video going, and we're going to talk about cheating. But Courtney, I appreciate you and your comment, but continue to watch. You will see that Security Boss calls it like I see it. I definitely would love for you to protect yourself. It's easier this way, men. You don't have to worry about what this woman is doing if you have been intentional with the woman that you're choosing to sleep with. You don't have to worry about her putting the hot sauce in the condom. You don't have to worry about putting the hot sauce in the condom for prevention. You just stay away from that type of woman. But I think so often you guys just love a pretty woman, and I don't blame you for that. But y'all got to stop picking her up on Instagram. You know, go somewhere else. There's a lot of pretty natural women. This just, I guess some would call them boring. I mean, maybe I'm boring. I don't know, but I think y'all need to go with boring. Boring is safe. You know, you don't need an exotic woman all the time, especially when you're trying to have a relationship with her. So whatever you decide to do, make sure you're protecting yourself. And that's just my point. That is just my point. So we're going to get into cheating though. And I want to hear what you all got to say. Eugene says, do not get sprung by the wrong woman. We're going to talk about that too. We're definitely going to talk about it. But what do you all think about cheating? First of all, let's lay the ground rules for cheating. I really don't think it's cheating in a relationship with just a girlfriend and boyfriend. I don't think that's cheating. In order to cheat for me, I think it's definitely a marriage relationship. So let's set some ground rules. It's a relationship. It's a marriage relationship. It's not a man and a woman dating. Okay, so that's the ground rule has been set. All right. So when you watch this video, note that Security Boss is talking about a couple that is married. And I'm almost sure too that Mr. Logic was addressing married people. So understand you cannot cheat unless you're married. All right. So I hope everybody agrees with that. I guess what I would call the other thing would be you just haven't actually I would probably call that I'm not sure what I would call it when you sleep around and you're just dating. I guess a bad idea. A bad idea. That's when you find yourself in child support court and things like that. So I'm just saying that I'm not sure what we call it. I'm not gonna call it cheating though, but this is just not a good idea. So were we able to put a video? Okay, so anyway, let me get to it. The video, what the conversation that the Condemnia says, whoa, no cheating on my boyfriend or girlfriend status, open season. Hey, we know what we're talking about. I want you to be married. I want you to be intentional. So if you're being intentional, all that girlfriend stuff is not, this really don't exist. You're finding a woman that you think or that's met all your criteria that can become your wife. But let's get to this cheating thing. So Mr. Logic was saying that basically that men who are in the military, businessmen, just men, period, that are married, they have a lot of access. You know, men in the military are men that go overseas or different countries, and they pretty much do what they want to do because it will not get back to their wives, right? And then I'm assuming that, you know, like Kevin Samuels has said several times, is that you have businessmen who maybe have value businessmen that have options and they go on a lot of business trip. And again, they're in different locations. So their wives won't know what they're doing, right? So they can cheat. But he said for himself, he's looking at all this and was like, wow, they're cheating and they're doing what they want to do. So I needed to make him understand, why did that not need to happen? You know, why would a man not cheat if he can go have all this access to these women and be married? You know, I got everything. Why not cheat? Or why be married was the thing, because he wanted me to tell him why be married, because he's seeing marriages where men just cheat and do what they want to do. So why should he be married? So my answer to him was this. And this is my answer to all men and women, because this, just in case y'all didn't know, women cheat nowadays just as much as men. Okay, this is a new thing, but women been cheating for a long time, guys. Understand this. They have been. I know many men right now who are on their second wife because their first wife cheated. I'm just gonna say it like that. Okay, so the reason why this is happening, my answer to that, Mr. Logic, was, and I think I told you a little bit then, when a man is married or when a man chooses a wife, the whole thing about being married is a different mindset. Your mind totally changes. And I noticed when you were giving your scenarios about the men being overseas and being different places, they're doing what they want to do. Those were actually your words. Now, if a man is still wanting to indulge with other women, then he is not a person that wants to be married. Okay. Or let's just, I'm gonna leave it there. He doesn't want to be married. He doesn't. Because when you want to be married, your wants and your desires are for your wife. And those wants and desires should be to become one with that one woman. Because, women, we have value. We're not stupid. We're just not build the blocks. We have minds, bodies, and souls. We feel, we love, we do all of that. We submit. So if you don't want that, which I agree to, you don't have to have it. But it's not about doing what you want, because what you want should be your wife. Now, if you haven't gotten that idea, can't see it happening, like you tripping, what are you talking about? You're not ready. Your mind has not made that transaction or transition to being a married man. Now, that means also that you're not being intentional. You just got married for whatever reason. Maybe you got married because you needed somebody to help you. Or maybe you got married because you wanted somebody to have your kids. Or maybe you got married because it was just time. I heard somebody, it's been some years ago though, but I thought it was strange. I sell houses, I sell real estate. And one of the guys I sell real estate with, I said, wow, when did you start coming to my church? He was like, oh, you know what? I gathered the family together. It was just time. And I'm like, it's just time. What do you mean? So I knew then that he felt like he had gotten to a point in his life where it was time for his family to come together, for him to be the man, for him now to be the leader. He had been married, but now it's time. So he had come to a point in his life where he was like, it's time to just be serious about this. I might die soon. It's time out for playing. I'm assuming that's what he meant, because he said it was just time. So whatever gets you to that point, it gets you there. But I promise you, you have to have a change in the way you think. You can no longer think in singular mode when you take on a wife. And I'm guaranteeing you, if you get that idea that I can't be singular, then you won't. You will think about your wife. You'll think about her feelings. So this is why we don't cheat. And I'm not going to let you say that most men cheat, because I don't believe that to be true. Do men cheat? Yes. Do women cheat? Absolutely. But when we start talking about most and all, I'm not agreeing with you, because I happen to know there are a lot of men that don't. There are some men that are really sincere about being married, and that's what they want for their lives. Now, I've always heard, what are the benefits about being married? If we're going to talk about marriage and divorce in the same sentence, I'm not going to even talk to you, because that doesn't make sense to me. But we're going to talk about marriage. I can tell you about the covering. I can tell you about the protection. I can tell you about the tax breaks. I can tell you about how you got someone at home to rub your feet. I can tell you how you got someone home to be your opposite, opposite of you. Whatever you hard at, they're soft at. If your feet hurting, they're rubbing you. That person who per se turns you out, that woman, that's how it could be. That's what a marriage relationship should look like. And it should be like this daily. You make an effort. I often use the analogy of how men have their sports guy or their famous athlete. They know everything about this athlete. I can ask some men about Michael Jordan. They can tell me, oh, he won this in 1986. His high score was 64. He did this. And they know everything about Michael Jordan, everything. But they wouldn't know nothing about their wife. And I promise you, if you put the same amount of energy that you put into Michael Jordan's stats and who he is into your wife, oh, that's happiness. That's bliss. I mean, really, think about it. Think about that. But for some reason, we get into these relationships and we get either lazy, complacent. I don't know what it is, but we got to do better. Mr. Rucker, how are you? The efforts could be with prenup. I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't disagree with the prenup, because you don't always know a person's intentions. You could be wrong, but listen, you don't make your life more difficult by cheating. You don't do that. Because what is the expectation? You cheating on your wife. Then she finds out, what exactly are you expecting from that point on? Really? So this is why we don't cheat. This is why we don't. So listen, guys, I am dropping the link in the chat. And I want all of you or any of you to come up and tell me what you think about this. This is why I don't cheat. This is why my husband don't cheat. So I want to know from you, from just what I'm telling you, this is why you don't cheat. Cheating is a real thing, but you have to be intentional about being married. And now I don't know why we're not intentional about being married anymore, but I can tell you the divorce rate is going down. Read the stats, they're going down. So just maybe people are becoming more intentional in deciding that being married is the best way to be. It's protection. Now, again, if you have the protection of your wife and maybe she's not doing everything you want her to do, you still pour into her. Woman, you got this man who's providing, who's leading, who's protecting you. You pour into him. It may mean sacrificing every day for him, but that's what you do because it's good on this other side, guys. I don't know how many times I have to say it, it's good over here. It is. The things that I hear that you all go through as single people is very disturbing. Everything is so calculated. 1 + 2. Okay, if I get this, then I have a 2-3 steps ahead of him. Then I'm running this game. No. That's not how you live. That's not living. That's playing games. And I don't want no part of it. And I really don't want my man folk to have any part of it either. And I'm just telling you up front that I think that you deserve a whole lot more. Adultery is death. It is. It is. Guess what? I've always said a marriage relationship is the most serious relationship you can have in your life, and it could end in death. Well, to death do us part, but that's not the one I'm talking about. We have plenty of stories, especially here of late, where it did not work out because we didn't take it serious. We didn't take it serious. So, Mr. Logic, for you to be talking about all the access doesn't matter. It's your mindset. What is your mind thinking about? Is your mind thinking about yourself and being and doing what you want? Or have you conformed, or are you conforming to being a married man? There is so much joy. I could tell y'all this. Now, I know you're not going to see people and know people that may not like it, but there's joy in being married. You need to ask a happily married man. I mean, especially a happily married man with kids. To have you come home from work and have your daughter or son, your baby run up to you and your wife, greet you at the door like you're the best thing in the world. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Run up to you. Hey, daddy. Hey, honey. How are you? There's nothing like it. You feel like you're on top of the world. It's nothing like it. I'm telling you. But, you can sacrifice your life and play around in these streets and pick up here and there what you want and get involved in the system. But I'm telling you, it's a better way to do these things, So just be intentional, be on your purpose. And if you do find that love of your life, which I hope you do, cheating is not the answer. You have to change your mindset. It's all about what you want. And one thing I know about men, if you all get on your purpose or you have something that you want, you all work hard to get it. I know that. So I know for a fact that you can also work hard to be and to have the best marriage possible. I know you can do it. So you don't have to worry about cheating and having access and it not getting back home and doing what you want to do, because those are no longer your thought processes. So guess what, guys? The link is in the chat. I would love to have you all come up and let me know what you think about cheating and being in a cheating within the marriage relationship and why men do it, why men or women, why I'm gonna do it, say it opposite, why women and men cheat. I need to know why you think they do and what is the answer. What is the answer? Make sure you got a cam up. If you come up, make sure that's all you have to do. But I would love to hear your ideas about why this happens, and definitely let me know. But this just goes back to what so many people have said, though, about cheating and the system and things of that nature. These are all things that have come against marriage, throughout the years. And listen, guys, I'm solution based, right? I may be one of the only women that I know men are always talking about their solution based. But I consider myself to be solution based. The other day when Mr. Logic and I were talking about child support and the system and all that. My solution was when a man does impregnate a woman, they get married and we take the system away. I still believe in that. Now, will that happen? Probably not. Probably not. Nobody's going to take the system away. It's going to be that way. But that would be a solution to the problem. Now, like I said, it's not going to happen because remember, everybody's situation is different. There are some men and women out there who really need the assistance of the federal government. It's a huge system, and it definitely needs to be one that more people need to be involved in. I agree with that. But if we got to be in it, which we don't have to be, but if your child has the children have to be taken care of. I get beat up by this, but no one's giving me any other solutions. What do we do for the kids? The kids got to have something. Now, Mr. Logic says something. A lot of times the men don't even want the kids. I understand that. I do. But what do we do? The women are destined to have them. So you suggest that they take care of them alone, or to have the system assist them, but just don't bother the men. I mean, even if that's what you're saying, we got to do something because it's just a problem. It's just talking point on YouTube. And I'm tired of talking about that, y'all. I want to move on with some solutions and try to put these things in place instead of having red pill rage. I see it all the time. You're woke now, right? But you're mad because of your situation that you may have gotten yourself into, but you got to deal with it. It's not only that system that hinders us. You got men also and women who don't have driver's licenses, not for the fact of not paying child support, period, because you didn't have insurance or whatever, and then they took your driver's license. You got that hanging over your head too. I'm just trying to empower men to not be a part of these systems because, again, I feel like you're the leaders. Ladies, any woman that entraps a man that doesn't want to have a baby, and you knew going in he didn't want to have a baby, and you didn't protect yourself, you didn't make him wear a condom, we was just freewheeling, and you said, I'm going to keep this baby. I have no idea what your thought process was. You're wrong. You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. I don't know what you're thinking, but a baby is not a joke. It requires a lot of money. It requires a lot of time. It requires just a lot. So I don't know why you would want that. I don't know. Women, we got to do better. But listen, when a woman continuously, y'all don't understand. When a woman has made mistakes and she's broken, and then she continues to make mistakes, everything changes about her. Her mental, everything changes. She now is looking for some sort of fulfillment in her mistakes because she can't get it right. We can't get it right. And when we can't get it right, what do? You continue to make mistakes, and nobody calls you out in it, but you still have these kids here that have to be taken care of. They have to be taken care of. Now, men, if you see a woman that has 2 kids or maybe 3 and not married and the child's fathers are not there, that's not somebody that you need to mess with. She needs to grow up. The kids need to grow up. Everybody in that whole circle needs to mature before she takes on another relationship. Why would you have sex with that woman? Why? Everybody knows by now, not everybody. Most people have heard that sex is an emotional thing for a woman. A man is entering a woman. He's leaving a part of himself in that woman. Why would you want to do that knowing that 2 other men have done this too, and they're not there? They're not there. Tasha, the system won't help them without going after the men. Women depend on the system, rarely files their own child support. Some women just say they don't know where the father is. The state pursues. How about that? I would be one of those people. I don't know. When you say the state pursues, I would then think that they would have to go down there to the state in order for them to pursue. I would just get 2 jobs. I would not force a man that did not want to be a father to be a daddy. I wouldn't do that. That's scary to me because I would think that he may not be mentally ready to take on a child that cries, a child that has needs, a child that needs to eat, all of that. That's scary. He can't be a daddy because he doesn't mentally want to be a daddy. And remember, all of this is a mindset shift. You got to change your mind. You have to think differently. And sometimes the men are just too immature, too young, or whatever the situation may be. But I wouldn't force a man in any way to be a dad. I would get 2 jobs. I wouldn't even show up at the state. Yes, this is me. I wouldn't show up at the state. But, again, we got to, Tasha, we got to be women and take accountability for our actions. We do as women. You can make one mistake. You can have an oops baby, but you ain't got no business having 2. There's no business having 2. We got to be more responsible for ourselves because we're the mothers. We're the nurturers. If we're the ones that going to be with the child, then we're the ones that's going to be with the child. You can't, and you're not, because now listen, you're talking about in a situation where you're not married. I agree with you. We're not married. Now, if I got a husband, we're talking 2 totally different things. 2 totally different things. I'm talking about an unwed woman that's had an oops baby. You got to take control of your life. We do make mistakes. I do that. Accountability is like kryptonite. It is. I've heard that several times, but what else do we have? You got to be accountable. The faster you can be accountable for your mistake and try to correct it, the easier your life will be because you won't make that same mistake again. But if you keep telling yourself, oh, I'm good, I got a support system, I'm all right, you taking pictures, your belly out and all that, and it's all cute and lovely, then you might be there again. So I'm agreeing with you guys. I think both parties need to be accountable, but sometimes we don't know how. As women, we don't know how to be accountable because nobody is telling us that we need to be accountable. When I was younger, it was shame. The shame made you accountable. I don't care how many engagement rings I had. It was shameful for me to be pregnant and not yet married. It was shame. And I knew I wasn't going to do that again. I wasn't. It was not happening to me ever again. And it didn't. But now it's all cute. The baby's a blessing. I promise y'all can say whatever y'all want to be. If you ain't got a husband or somebody there to take care of that baby, it is not a blessing. It's hard. It's hard. I can't blame the child, but the blessing part, I'm not with y'all on that. That thing is mentally draining. It's very frustrating and it's hard. We're not blaming the child. The situation, no. And then, see, that's us justifying it again. It is not. If we take it for what it is, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. We need to be able to pour into our children to make them productive adults. If we can't do that for whatever reason, then we're wrong. All right. So that's just my thoughts on that. That is my thoughts. But facts like Kevin's facts, laugh out loud. Kevin Samuels figured it out. What did he do? Kevin Samuels figured it out. Just tell it like it. Listen, it is. I hate to say that because I know that, when you say a child isn't a blessing, people think you don't like kids. I love kids, but I only like kids that I can handle. And a woman cannot handle 5 kids. I don't care what lie she's telling herself. Celine, hello, how are you? A single woman can't handle 5 kids. She's mentally frustrated. Oh my God, wore out. You can't even ride in a car with 5 kids. What car can I guess you can have a minivan. But listen, guys, that's not how it's supposed to be. We were not designed to have 5 kids in one person. You have to have somebody that cares enough to be with you. And I'm sorry, guys. I just don't agree with that. And I know ladies are mad at me and they hate the fact that I say what I say, but I do. Listen, the link is in the chat. If you all want to come up and add to this discussion, Tasha, facts. You're right, Tasha. I mean, but we got to get this out to the ladies and to the men. I'm not letting the men off the hook because, like I said, if a man sees a woman has one and he wants to be intentional about her, invest time in her, maybe become her husband, I get that. But lady, you got one. You can't have 2 until that man becomes your husband. But a man getting involved with a woman with 3 or 4 and then she giving her 2 more and then leaving her. Celine says children are only a good thing within a marriage and if they are your children. Yes. Well, you know what, Celine, I'm not going to go that far. You cannot be married and have one, having one child is not the death of you. You can mature. It's not easy. You can mature. because you can't, situations change. You know, you might have someone, you might be in a relationship, a marriage relationship, someone passes away, different things of that nature. All things can happen, you know, where your situation can change. I'm not saying that. But when you're talking about having multiple children, one woman or one person, even a man, I heard a man, I think Black Man Unfiltered, shout out to you, Black Man. Black Man has, I think, 2 kids that he has full custody of. And my hat goes off to him, because 2 kids is about your limit for one person. And they're older, so they're helpful. But can you imagine having a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old as a man? No. Can you have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old as a woman? Stressful. No. So I'm just saying, protect yourself. Protect yourself, women and men. But men, I'm holding you most responsible, because you carry the sperm. You carry the sperm. The ladies have to birth the babies. I agree with you, but you carry the sperm. Hold on to your sperm. Hold on to it. Don't give it away. Don't give it away at all. Don't give it away. Thank you. Tasha says, nope, you're speaking facts. I made a mistake the first time and refused to have any other without marriage. Tasha, don't do it. Don't do it. You know, don't do it. Be the best mom you can be until you can find a husband. And guess what? That child is going to grow up. I'm my prime example. I was young when I had my child. Listen, my husband and I have been empty nesters for darn near a lot of years. Okay. So there's still a lot of life. So don't give up on having a husband or leading that whatever life you want to live. Just, you got to get that child first. The child is here now. So you got to raise the child. So just know that. You know, sometimes your life comes in that order. It ain't always marriage first. You know, it should be, but it's not always the perfect way. But you still have a lot of life to live. You can still get married and have a long life being wife. So, you know, don't give up on that. Don't give up on it. You're right. Circumstances are different for some people that should be taken into consideration. I agree. I agree. We are definitely reckless sometimes. When you're young, you're dumb. Listen. You can say it all to me, I know, but you have to correct yourself. You can't live in it. You cannot live in that. So that's my only point, guys. And, you know, this is such a big deal, you know. All right. So looks like, all right. So anyway, we cannot get the video for whatever reason. But anyway, like I said, we constantly talk about, even though I could start on cheating, and we have a whole conversation about cheating, we always end up with child support. Oh, wait a minute. Celine says, when your cousin's daughter turns 18, she'll be 43 about, so she could go to therapy and heal. Yeah, you're right, Celine. The situations are not doomed. I'm back. I know we struggle streaming over here. Thank you, though. Thank you for letting me know. So, yeah, the situations are different. Anytime you have that problem, far as whenever you make your mistake, it's always life afterwards. You just can't continue to live in your mistakes and continue to make those mistakes. So that's the point I'm trying to make. And as soon as we can learn how to be accountable for what we do, then we can turn the situation around. So it is my job to do that. I try often to hold women accountable. I think I'm gonna do a show on that. I don't know if women will actually join in. They usually get really upset when you tell them that they may have made some mistakes. You know, they don't think you understand, or they think you're judging them. And I'm not the one to judge. I've made mine, but you have to own up to your mistakes and correct them. When I owned up to my mistakes, my life changed. And it always will for anyone else, because once you realize what you've done wrong, you don't have to continue to lay in that wrongness. You can change that situation. And that's what I'm talking about. But we keep talking about these systems that are out there, but then we still allow ourselves to become a part of it. And that's what I mean. We can't do that. We cannot do that. We have to change our situation. So listen, is there anyone, I'm gonna put the link out in a moment, anyone that would like to come up and talk about the child support issues that we always talk about, or we could definitely speak on the cheating issues that we often talk about too. And then also we can talk about the marriage issues that I love to talk about. That would be nice. But if not, I definitely understand. But Tasha, I appreciate you. Selena, I definitely appreciate you. and your comments that you have in the chat. And Eugene, also, I definitely appreciate all of you all for your comments. And I would love it if one of you all like to come up and just not have me read all these comments, but even so, I appreciate everything that you do, and I appreciate you being here with me. But if not, this is going to be a short, well, I've been here an hour. And usually the second half of my show is dedicated to you all anyway, to come up and talk to Security Boss and let me hear your opinion on what we're talking about. I think I've actually proven Mr. Logic wrong about the cheating. Not wrong. That wasn't the best words. I didn't prove him wrong. I just disagree with him, and I told him why. It's all a mind change. It's a mind change. You have to change the way you think. And guess what, men? I know you can control your thoughts. I know definitely you can. You don't have to always follow what the world tells you to do. You know what? I actually think that's what's going on. The world tells us something and we do it. The world has told you that most men cheat and you got to comply. Is that right? You can't be different. You got to do what the world says do. They say that women cheat and women do no good. Do we have to do that, women? We're saying modern women are no good. You know, there are no more traditional women. I mean, do we have to comply to this, or can we show them that there are women that are good? Can I have y'all find a woman that is decent and that is traditional? Or are we gonna just go with what the world says about women being no good and men cheating? Is that what we're gonna do? We can't do that. We got to become independent thinkers. I say this all the time. You got to learn how to think on your own. You got to try the thoughts. You got to try the things that are out there in the world. You know, you got to try it. Sir Hale, how are you, sir? Sir Hale, listen, the link is in the chat. If you have something you want to add, please definitely come up. I want to excuse me. I definitely want to ask that question. Do we have to comply with what the world tells us to do? So often we do. I heard some crazy things. Even today, I heard a man say that, even the hot sauce in the reason why the hot sauce got put in the condom was this. Coaches come into the locker rooms and tell the men, don't put your condom in the toilet, because once you flush it, it comes back up, and the woman can go in the toilet, get the condom out, and of course, use the turkey baster to get it out the condom to insert. So that's why the young man Drake put the condom in the trash can and added the hot sauce. But guys, understand this. What kind of woman is it that would do that? How come you can't identify that woman before we go that far? Doesn't she have some markers on her, some kind of tracers or something that you can see that would tell you that this is the type of one? Has to be. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he put hot sauce in the condom. So that tells me he knew that this was a tricky one. But instead of him dealing with another one, he was gonna out trick the trickster. What kind of crap is that? This is a game. This is no game, guys. It's no game. This kind of behavior can take you out of here. It's no game. Because when and if she was successful, then he would have been a father of another child that he did not want. Then paying money, child support, to a woman that he didn't even probably know, and the cycle continues. He had to have known that this woman was not the woman that he wanted to be with for anything more than that 24 hours, probably. But instead, he was going to win the game. Guys, it's not a game. Your life is not a game. When are we going to get serious about this? It's not a game. It's not about who wins. It's not, because you don't win. We already saw it. We're complaining about it now. The system, the child support, the alimony, none of that is working very well. It's all about who's winning. But when you can protect yourself from the beginning, then you don't have to worry about who's winning. You can win all the way around. You can pick the woman who you want to have your kids. And if it doesn't work out, then you can continue to take care of your kids. How about this? You picked us so well and you so much want to be a father, you can take the kids yourself. How about that? I'm an advocate of that. If my child's father would have ever argued or went back and forth with me about my child or our child, he could have had her. I'd have been like, you know what? Here you go. No argument. I would want love for him, any man, to be the father, the daddy to that child. I definitely would have shared. Because I think a child needs that. So you don't have to argue. If you pick them well, you pick a woman who is reasonable, who knows it's for the child, then you don't have to play these games. You don't have to do the turkey baster women. You don't have to do the hot sauce men. You know, when you do these, oh my God, you know what? I think we done all kind of lost our mind. It's ridiculous. This is really ridiculous. We shouldn't do these things. We're going crazy. Academia says spicy. I bet it was. I bet it was. So listen, guys, I'm just telling you, like I started the show off, I just wanted to let you know. And it started off with the young man, Courtney. Courtney, security boss, is accountable on both sides. I don't favor women and I don't favor men. I'm just holding each and every one accountable. And if I can give each person or each sex, men or woman, something to help them protect themselves until they get to a place where they can make their own good decisions, I want to be able to do that. And for me to tell a man, then, protect yourself, be intentional, don't even have some discipline, and tell a woman, you do the same. Don't have sex, or if you're not protecting yourself against having babies, don't have sex. I'm saying the same thing because, even though I would love to have the laws change to where if a man impregnates a woman, he marries her, more than likely that won't happen. And if it did, I bet something else would happen also. It would be some sort of fallout, some sort of pushback that I did not foresee on the other side because they didn't want that either. So guess what? We're not living in a farewell world. Everything is not perfect, but we definitely need to do what we got to do to make things better. How do we do it? So the only thing I can come up with is for us to be accountable and responsible for what we do. And again, I'm solution based. If you don't have solutions, I need for you to stop complaining. I really do. I need you to stop complaining because there are so many different scenarios that men have found themselves in. I agree that are bad. It's so many terrible things that women, and the way they speak to you all, women, the way women speak to men is awful. It's ridiculous. I don't agree with it. So I can only tell you to protect yourself. They come at me crazy too. I'm a woman. So I can only offer you some suggestions on how to protect yourself. Women, you can't complain. And if you really think child support, be living in a low income or, poverty situation is good, bless your heart. It's not. Give your kids a chance. Show them the world. Take them outside of your four squares and show them something different so they can learn, so they can be productive citizens. They can grow up and be independent thinkers. They won't always be, a victim of the world, a victim of this, a victim of that. They can actually control something out of their life, about their own life. They can control something. But we just keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm just hoping one day that we don't. Of course, I advocate for marriage. And I think that that's the answer to our community's problems. But if that's not what you want, then I'm going to continue to give you provisions on how to protect yourself. So what, guys, listen, the link is in the chat. If I don't have anybody that needs or wants to come up and ask questions about the things we talked about tonight, as far as the sex, as far as the child support, as far as marriage, then security boss abstinence. You very, very, hey, works better than anything, right? But that's what you call discipline. Thanks, Celine, for that. So if no one has anything to add to this, I have been here over an hour. And like I said, the second half of my show is for you all to come up and ask your questions. And if you don't have anything to ask, I am going to have a good night and you do the same. Thank you for being here on this Friday night, because you could have been anywhere, but you decided to share the evening with me. I will be back on Monday. Actually, I'm going to be on Sunday evening. I will be over on Sir Hale's channel. Don't know the topic yet, but we will have a pre-show. So make sure you join me on Sunday On Monday, I'm back again with Black Men Unfiltered. And so, guess what? I'm not going anywhere. So definitely give me some comments. I love the engagement, whatever. But continue to listen. One day, I'm going to say something that you really, really enjoy. And also, remember, this is unsolicited. You didn't ask me for it, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Just keep that in mind. Unsolicited. Listen, guys, thank you. Give me a thumbs up as you come in. But I'm at the end of my show now. But thank you for your thumbs up. I will see and speak to you soon. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you and good night.
Baby, please don't go. Don't think it's in me to listen to foe. It's so different with distance we roam into zones where nothing get heard anymore. I just wish I was home when I stepped through front door, but instead I'm alone and completely unsure. And even though you're screaming out with the best of intentions, I don't get it. Why do you always gotta ask me to stay? Why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. Say, why you always gotta go? Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul on the road. See, I've been lost in my thoughts, and my thoughts they too scared to usher off. Sorry, Mom, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in the days, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove here away. I remember the way you wrote letters in blue ink. You and me was in love. Think about what your crew think. I know your moms probably think I'm a bastard. Your pops probably wanna beat my death and take a in my casket. But I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can pull out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist a spliff and laugh and relax. Are you crying? And I'm trying to find the reason, so I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black? I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road. You say that all is good. You say that all is great. I say that y'all can't. And that's cause y'all seem fake. That's cause y'all seem. You say that all is good. You say that all is great. I say that y'all can't. And that's cause y'all seem fake. That's cause y'all seem. Hope for a minute you'd notice me, but you didn't try. Living out a dream, but got caught up in something different. Think I'm probably just a piston and inner workings of engines. Put my pen down for a second, end up watching it as it trembling. Cause I've been trembling, look around and I'm feeling frightened. Put my head down for a minute, pick it up and then watch his life. Pretended righteous and realize that my evil just be something that's a part of me. Partly I'm keeping see-through. So you can watch your bits and pieces when I eat you and see my inner demons when I scream and try and reboot. But peace to it. Walk away and throw my deuces up. Tracks from my brother who died, who never knew me much. For that, who trashed me, all I threw was love. For my moms who always put up with my stupid stuff, grew me up, placed a kiss on every single bruise and cut. For suburban stoners getting high and making Lucy runs. For everybody who threw me love, I'm here to throw it back. Strange cat from the cul-de-sac trying to flow around. So exact, to extract my mental straight from my pencil onto page over instrumentals. I'm kind of feeling like